Up, he is the CEO of America First Refining. John Calce joining us this week to talk about the one number that controls the world economy, the price of oil. John, you know, we were supposed to talk about why gas prices are not falling as fast as oil prices, but then big surprise this week, the war with Iran heating back up again, the on-again, off-again ceasefire. President Trump says the deal is off, and the Strait of Hormuz now very much in flux. So oil heading back up again. What do you see happening now at the pump in the days and weeks ahead, or is it anyone's guess?
Well, to an extent, it's anyone's guess, and thank you for having me on today. I appreciate it. The reality is, here in the U.S., we're somewhat insulated, but the world is not. And if you see an increase or extension of hostilities, in all likelihood, you'll see a continued tightening of the world oil market. We're also being impacted by what's going on between Russia and Ukraine. That's also flared up quite a bit. So I think in all likelihood, you're going to see an increase in pricing again, unfortunately, with what we're seeing today in the world.
Yeah, it just feels like we take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back because Iran, you know, who knows if they're going to hold up their end of the bargain. It doesn't look like they are, and that's the whole issue. But when prices do eventually go back down, as they were before this latest dust up, will prices at the pump go down much slower than the daily price of oil? And if so, why?
So what you've got is 2 different markets that are connected in the sense that they're both in the same commodity, but they trade and they're priced differently. And what I mean by that is the price that you see for a barrel of oil is actually the price that the oil is being sold for next month. So a quoted price today is actually what refiners will pay for a barrel of oil in August at this point, whereas they're currently refining oil they purchased in June. So there's a bit of a lag and catch up. Then you combine that with the fact that your local gas station is buying gasoline typically on a weekly basis, and they're paying usually cash for that. So they're trying to price their gasoline today as to what they think they're going to have to pay next week for a truckload of gasoline. So you've got a bunch of forces here that are not really aligned, especially with the volatility, and that's what's causing so much this dislocation in pricing.
Yeah, everyone likes to make money, and the consumers are caught in the middle. Meanwhile, let's talk solutions, because your company, called America First Refining, is building the first, I understand, first new U.S. refinery in more than 50 years. How much of a difference could projects like yours make, and how long before consumers would actually notice lower prices?
Well, we think it's going to make a good bit of difference, and we wish there were more. Our refinery will come online around 2029. I started this project back in 2014, and it took me nearly a decade just to get the permitting. So these are long lead development projects, unfortunately, and then you've got to build them, and we'll spend several $billion building this thing. And that being said, you know, we'll process 200,000 barrels a day of 100% U.S. shale oil, and that'll have an impact on pricing. Will it be, you know, noticeable in the global market? No, but I think certainly in the U.S. it's going to have an impact.
Fascinating stuff. We certainly cannot take it for granted, given the world we all live in today as we're seeing it play out in real time. John Calce, the CEO of America First Refining, thank you for your time and insight.